Okay, alright. Now, as we discussed, Pig and Hive installation. Okay, I'll give you explanation in the second half about the architecture and everything, right? So, Pig and Hive are basically very lightweight tools. Apache Pig is very popular because if you want to upload something, we discussed ELT, right? Extract, load and transform. So you need not to transform first and then load. It is not required. You can load and then look for the transformation. We face a lot of challenge to basically upload the data if it is not structured. So Pig gives a facility, even if your data is not structured and you want to upload it, you can upload it. If it is structured, then it has got a good capability of basically organizing a schema on top of your structured data. But even if it is not structured, it at least allows you to upload it. And after you have uploaded, then basically you can start thinking and writing certain queries how to analyze that data. Okay, so that facility is given by Pig. It is very much popular because people who are not into programming background also, they can very well use it because the language, that is Pig Latin, is not so complex. It's quite easy. Okay, so even non-programmers can very well use it. So for Pig, only a single command you have to write, sudo yum install pig. So I will just make use of my terminal and I'll clear it. I'll write sudo is not required here, yum install pig. So it should get installed. Yeah, it is installing. Sorry, I have typed a wrong word. Okay, it is asking, it is of 53 MB, install size will be 115 MB. Yeah, it is getting installed, and after it has got installed, you just need to configure these two properties under user lib pig conf pig.properties. You just have to write these two properties. So I'll just copy them, and as soon as it is installed, I will paste it. Internet is a bit slow, I think. So once it is installed, then if you want to work with Pig, then you can get into the shell of Pig. Okay, like for Hdfs, we did not get into a different or another shell. We were directly using our Unix shell command prompt. Okay, but for Pig, you can get into a shell, and Pig's shell is known as grunt. Okay, the name of the shell is grunt. So once you will type Pig and get into, you will get into grunt, and from there you can execute Pig commands. Okay, Pig basically has got two modes of connection. If you want to connect to your local file system, you have to write pig space -x space local. So that will connect to your local file system. And if you want to connect to your Hdfs, then you need to write pig only. So that means default connection mode is Hdfs. Okay, so if you are connected to Hdfs, in that case Pig will fetch the data from Hdfs. If you write pig -x local, in that case the data will be fetched from local file system. Pig is a lazy tool in the sense, whatever scripts you will write, it will not execute any of the scripts. It will just keep on creating the scripts. But whenever you want to get the result, at that point of time only, it will start executing from the first statement. And whatsoever dependency is there, let's say your last statement has got 4 dependencies, like 4 statements should get executed in order to execute your last statement. Then basically if you want to get the result of last statement, then at that point of time Pig will start first statement, execution of first statement, then second, then third, then your last statement will get executed. This is called as lazy execution. So it will keep on creating your relations or your queries or scripts, but it will execute whenever you want to get the results. Okay, or you want to store the results somewhere. Only that time pig will start execution. That is called as lazy execution. This we will see in Spark as well. So lazy execution is sometimes helpful as well. You write all your script and at once you run it. And sometimes it is not good. Why? Because if there is some error, then where will you find where was the error? That is a complex task. Pig is installed. Now let me go inside vi/etc. It was not etc. It was user lib pig, and inside that, what was that? Lib only. Inside it is userlib pig conf. Okay, userlib pig conf, and here I will get pig.properties. So inside this I have to update those two lines. So I am just updating those two lines here. Oh, they are not copied. So I'll copy them back again. Copy, paste. Okay, so I'll just check. Okay, yes, so it's a single line. Fine. So escape shift colon WQ. Now as I told you, if I want to get into Hdfs mode, I'll just write pig and enter. It should take me to the grunt shell. We'll be able to see that it is connected to SDFS. Here you are able to see SDFS master 8021. It is connected to SDFS. Okay. Here connecting to Hadoop file system and connecting to MapReduce job tracker. So it is connected to job tracker because for execution processing, job tracker is responsible, and for the files, getting the files data, name node is responsible. So it is connected to that. Now I'll get out of it. I'll connect to pig-x local. So now it should connect to the local file system. Okay. So here you can see that it is connecting to Hadoop file system at local file system, file colon ///. This means your local file system. Okay. So it is connected to local file system. So pig is a very lightweight tool. Even if you don't have Hadoop, then also you can install pig and you can analyze, right? So that's the benefit. Fine. Now I'll get out of it because it was just installation. So installation is done and it is basically connecting to your local file system as well as your SDFS that we have seen. Let me clear it. Now next is Hive, right? Hive. So let us move for Hive installation. Hive installation is quite big. Okay, it is quite big. So in Hive, first we need to install these 4 components: Hive, Hive Metastore, Hive Server. 3 components. Okay, Hive Server 2, that is optional. So let me install one by one. Okay, so the base package sudo yum, I'll write -y install install Hive. Okay, so after installing Hive, I'll be installing Hive Metastore, Hive Server 2. Hive is known as a data warehousing tool. Okay, data warehouse is basically meant for structured data. Hive was evolved specially for structured data only because in the whole big data there is a huge data which is structured also. Okay, although there is a lot of unstructured or semi-structured data, but there is a huge data which is structured as well. So if we can use Hadoop for structured data also, that is also good. We are leveraging the capability of Hadoop. So for that purpose, instead of writing MapReduce Java code, if you have structured data, you go for some query language. Therefore this Hive was evolved. So Hive has got Hive query language, which is very similar to SQL, or you can say which is very similar to your MySQL queries. Okay. Here with the help of Hive, whatever structured data is there, you can upload that into tables. So your data will be organized in the form of tables here. Then you can run queries. You can run maybe join queries, you can put where clauses, you can do group by, okay, a lot of things you can do. For installing Hive, your data will be stored in SDFS. In case of pig, it was not compulsory that you should store your data dedicatedly in some folder. Wherever your data is, you can fetch your data from there in case of Pig. In case of Hive, it will get a dedicated directory where you can store your data. Okay, in case of Hive. And whenever you are deleting some data, that data will get deleted from that particular location. But in case of Pig, it was not so. In case of Pig, your queries, your everything is volatile. So always you have to save your queries somewhere and your results in Hdfs. Otherwise, results will be volatile. They will vanish as soon as you come out of, like I had quit, I typed quit and I came out of Pig. I remain with nothing. I don't have any table, I don't have any script, nothing I have. In case of Hive, it is not like that. Whatever table you create, it sustains there. Table is there. Are you getting? Right? Okay. So Pig Hive's base package is installed. Now I'll install Hive Metastore. It is installed. I'll install Hive Server. If you want to install multiple packages at a time, what you can do is you can just type space and Hive Server 2. Both will get installed. Installed, right? Both of them got installed. Hive Server 2. So 4 things I have installed. Fine. Now next is installation of MySQL. Okay. So MySQL Server I'll install. Now basically when you install Hive, at that point of time, Hive comes up with a default database which is called as Derby. Have you heard of Derby? Derby is a lightweight database. Okay. And what happens when we have Derby? At that point of time, I'll just show you on PowerPoint. Maybe in Paint. Okay. So when we have Hive, it comes up with Derby. So this is Hive package. And we have a Derby which is inbuilt inside it. Okay, so Derby package is inbuilt inside it. There is Derby. Derby database. So because in Hive, Hive is giving us a facility to write queries. So there should be a mechanism or Hive should have its own schema of writing queries. Okay. So that is given by Derby. Okay. The way, for example, we have MySQL or Oracle. So what we do, we basically write some queries. After writing the queries, let's say created a table. So creation of a table will create an entry in some system table that one table has been created. Are you getting? So always some database will be having, there's some databases there, whatever database it may be. So this database will be having some system tables. Okay, so this is an area where system tables will be there. Sys tables. Okay, and there will be another area where all your user tables would be there. So here your user tables will be there. Are you getting? Right? Your user tables will be there. As soon as you will create a user table, in system table there will be an entry. So here there will be an entry. Are you getting what I am saying? So system table, let's say the system table is having TBLS table. Okay, there is a table called as TBLS. So the user create table employee with columns, whatever constraint, enter. So in system table, there is a table called as TBLS. It will get an entry. Okay, it will get an entry. One table created. The name of the table is TBLS. The kind of the table is, it is an internal table. And then maybe some other properties, size or something which we have given restricted. So all those things will be entered in that system table. Okay. Hive also needs that. If a normal database requires it, Hive also requires it. Okay. So for that purpose, we have a default database called as Derby. So whatever you are doing creating tables, views, or writing some queries, so there is some entry which is happening in the system tables also. So that facility is given by Derby. Is it clear? But there is a problem. The problem is that if you have installed Hive in one system, this Derby resides locally with that particular Hive setup. So let's say if I want some other user to use Hive with his or her own system, then that person will not be able to use whatever work I have done in my terminal. Why? Because Derby is local. Are you getting? Let's say now I want to share some files with you. Those files are present locally on my machine. You are not able to access. I tried to share it on network, but it is not successfully done. You are not able to access. So it is that those files are restricted to single user usage. But if I want to share it with all, then properly it should be shared with in the network, and you should be able to access it. Similar way, Derby does not allow other user to access it. It's not centralized. So for that purpose, I will reconfigure my Hive not with Derby but with MySQL. So I'll create a server. I'll create in the same machine, but ideally it can be in some other machine. A dedicated machine will be there for MySQL server. Are you getting? Right? So there MySQL will be installed, and I'll connect my Hive with that particular MySQL. If you are installing Hive, you will connect your Hive with the same MySQL server. If you are installing, you will also connect with the same MySQL server. You got it? Right? So we will have a centralized server. So let's say we have 100 setup of Hive, but all those 100 setups are configured with the same MySQL server. So if you do something, it will get entered in the system tables of MySQL. If you are doing something, it will also get entered into the system tables of MySQL server, right? So this is the purpose. So therefore we are installing MySQL now. So sudo yum install MySQL server. This is for CentOS 6. For CentOS 7 I have written here. Okay, we'll have to get this RPM. So I'll just copy the link and get this RPM downloaded. Let me go to /root. Okay, wget. I've got that RPM downloaded. Okay, and I just need to extract that RPM -ivh MySQL RPM. It is extracted. Okay, and now I can install sudo yum install -y MySQL server. Okay, let's cross check the command. Sudo yum install MySQL server, enter. Fine. So you got the purpose of MySQL, why we are configuring. We don't want Derby, we want MySQL. Why? Because Derby will be limited to one user, but MySQL will allow us to n number of users to connect to the MySQL and use the same SDFS. Okay, fine. Then we'll have to basically start the MySQL D service. So MySQL service is named as MySQL D. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put this also in the same restart.sh file. Why? Because every time I should not search for a command and start. I'll put it in the same script. So whenever I want to restart the whole setup, I'll just run that script. We have that script, right? Restart.sh. So I'll put it there only. Okay, last package is getting, okay, so by that time I'll just make a copy of that, make a copy of it, copy, and 6, 7, almost done. Done. Okay, so now I'll just do vi restart.sh, and here only I'll put the command MySQL. So for MySQL, this is the command, and instead of writing start, I'll write restart. Okay, this is fine. Here also you are able to see sudo service is written, and here it is written sudo systemctl, right? So from CentOS 7, earlier the way was sudo service service name start restart, this way we were writing till CentOS 6.x. Then in CentOS 7 that is still working and that will get depreciated. Okay, which one? Sudo service. Now we have systemctl restart mysqld. So systemctl is the command, and then what do you want to do? Start, stop, restart, that you have to write, and the service name you have to write. Okay, so in CentOS 7 both of them work. Sudo service, service name start, that also work, and systemctl restart mysqld, this way also it works. Okay, I have written here, I have saved the file. Okay, and I'll paste it here as well. MySQL should be working now, and let us test whether it is working or not. It started. MySQL, it's working. Okay, show databases, it's working fine. I'll come out of it. Okay, great. So MySQL is installed. Now basically what I want is, I want my Hive to get connected with MySQL. For that I'll require a connection jar, right? So that jar I'll install by this way, sudo yum -y install MySQL connector Java. This way I'll do, enter. So it will download some jar. That jar I'll have to put in maybe user lib hive lib. There I'll have to put that jar. Okay, so let's go ahead. Yes, so I have to create a link, user share Java MySQL connector, and that will create a link under user lib hive lib. So okay, last is going on, 35 out of 35. That is almost done. Okay, fine. For links also in Linux, if you see, so there is one ln command and there is one command ln-s. Have you seen? Ln basically creates a hard link and ln-s creates a soft link. Have you read about hard link and soft link? No. Okay. If you have created a hard link, let's say A is a file, a.txt is a file, and if you create a hard link for b.txt, if you delete a.txt, then also b.txt will contain that data. But if you create a soft link, and then if you delete a.txt, then b.txt will point to nothing. It will not have any data. So soft link is a link, but if you delete the source, then that link will be dangling. It will not point to anything. If you have a hard link, then only a.txt will get deleted, the data will not get deleted, it will still be in the memory. Okay, that's the difference between hard link and soft link. So let's create a hard link for this particular file. Okay, so ln I'll create link. Okay, ln, and the link has to be created from user share Java, and inside that we have MySQL connected java.jar, and this link has to be created under user lib hive lib. There this link has to be created, right? Now the connection should be able to, Hive should be able to establish a connection with MySQL, okay, with the help of this jar. Okay, now next thing, are you getting till this kind of time, right? Okay, next is, this is just explanation of soft link and hard link. This command is to basically make the MySQL service up and running at the boot time. These are old commands for CentOS 6. That is fine whether you run them or not. Fine. Now we will create a database for Hive in MySQL. What we'll do? We'll create a database for Hive in MySQL. Why? Because Hive requires system tables. There are two kinds of tables, system tables and user tables. So Hive's system tables will be there in MySQL, and Hive's user tables will get into the Hive shell and we'll be able to see the user tables. Okay, so for basically Hive, we will create system tables. In MySQL, create database. The name of the database is Metastore. 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 So we have created a database Metastore. Yeah, so Metastore is created. Fine. Now next thing is we have to run a script, source, and this script has to be run. Okay, so let me just copy this. It's copied. So source command is basically to run the script. Source it says failed to open file. There is a space here. Okay, done. Okay, no database selected, so there is a problem as well. No database selected. So what should I do? Use Metastore, and now I should run that command, right? Okay, it has run all the queries. Okay, now basically show tables inside Metastore. These are the system tables created. Are you able to see? System tables created inside Metastore with the help of this script, right? These are system tables for whom? For Hive. Okay, these are system tables for Hive. Okay, now let us go back and do some more configurations. Exit from MySQL. Let's come out from MySQL. Exit. Done. And I'm giving access to basically Metastore folder to all the users. Done. And now I am creating a user inside MySQL for Hive, because I have created a database Metastore, but how Hive will be able to access it? So I'll be creating a user for Hive, and I'll be giving that particular user privileges to access this Metastore. You know this? We can create users on a database and we can give access privileges. Yeah, name. You can name anything. Now I am configuring Hive, so I will follow Hive@hostname, because we are creating for Hive. It is easy to remember that yes, the username can also be Hive only, right? So here, and try to follow the document as it is as of now. Once you are thorough with the concept, then you keep on changing the names and all. There's no problem, because now if I'm changing here Hive@master, then in an XML in Hive, this has been configured that username is Hive and password is something. Okay, it is mentioned there. Okay, so create user. I'm running this command in MySQL. Enter. It says command not. Yeah, I have to get inside MySQL first. Yes, a user is created. Okay, now revoke all privileges. I'm revoking all privileges from Hive@master. Okay, all the privileges are revoked, and now I'm giving the privileges. Privileges are given, and now flush privileges and quit. Flush privileges and come out of MySQL. Done. I think only XML is left out. Yeah. So in the XML, what we need to do is we need to give the address of database. So let's open up the XML first. vi/etc hive conf hivesite.xml. Here if you see, we have configuration started from here, and yes, check here, it's written jdbc:derby, right? jdbc:derby. But now which database we are using? MySQL. So what I'll do is I'll just edit this. I'll remove this part. Keep this much, okay. And I'll put the MySQL's address there. Okay. Then driver name, that should also be of MySQL. I'll copy it and then check driver name. Driver name here also it is given for Derby. I'll just delete that one and I'll paste MySQL's driver. And then basically you can simply delete the properties of that file and add these. Okay. Then we have these two properties: connection username Hive, password my password, data nucleus, then this meta store, then verification is false. You can just copy these properties and delete the previous ones. Just paste them and just remember it should be properly formatted, otherwise there may be a problem. This is fine. Okay, fine. Home, and just format them. Value, property. Enter. Property. Name. Enter. Okay, so this is done. Done. Value yes. Fine. Yes. After this, now we need to change certain permissions and then start the services again. So I'll just change the permissions of these directories. Okay, these are temporary directories where data will be created while running some operations, and I'll just start the services and get into Hive. So vi restart.sh, and now Hive services, I'll make an entry for them here. Hive services, enter. Okay, escape shift Q. Fine. So let us now run restart.sh. So it will keep on starting all the services. Fine. So now after that, I'll get into Hive and just test whether it's working well or not. Okay. Okay. So it was a bit lengthy. Okay, a bit lengthy, but it is. I think you have understood, right? Okay. Fine. So let us just wait till the services are getting up. Okay, so let me check with JPS here. JPS. So in JPS, you will be able to see all your Hadoop services, but your Hive services won't be visible there. And here I am not able to see the name node. Yeah, it is there. Yeah, name node is there. Now let's check whether Hive is working or not. I'll type Hive and enter. It should take me to the Hive shell. The way you went into grunt shell of pig, it will take me to the Hive shell. Show databases. Queries are similar to MySQL. So it should show only one database, that is the default. But it says that there is some error. Okay, there is some error. So this happens many a times. This happens. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll open up a duplicate session, and there we will see what is the problem. Okay, so it says that runtime exception, unable to instantiate org.apache.hadoop.hive.metastore. So metastore service is not running. So let me just check. Okay, system ctl status Hive metastore. It says inactive and dead, right? It says inactive and dead. So let me just try to start it again. Start. I've started, and let's check the status. It's active now. It's active, right? Now let me run the same command. It gives the same error. Let me check the status again. It's still active. Okay, that's good. But it gives the same error. Okay, so let me check. Instead of Hive metastore, let me check Hive server. It is dead. Hive server 2, it is also dead. So let me start them. Start. Let us check the status. It's active. Now almost everything is active. Let's check again Hive metastore, the status of metastore. It's also active. Now perform this. Again it gives error. Unable to instantiate. Okay, so what should we do? Okay, all these are working, but it is not running. Runtime exception, unable to instantiate Apache dot. Let me do exit and come back. That may be one of the option I can try. I'm getting inside Hive, and I'll try the same command. Show databases. No, it's not working. So क्या करना चाहिए अभी? We should check the logs. Okay, logs are the one of the most important thing we should always look upon. So let me go inside cd var, and here I'll find a log folder, cd log, and here do we have any folder for Hive? Yes, we have a folder for Hive as well here. So let's get inside Hive, and here certain logs are being created. Let us check the logs. These logs will tell us what's exactly happening. Tail -500, and let me run the Hive metastore .log. It's saying something. Okay, so let's say, what does it say? Okay, so I'll try to get the real-time logs. Tail -f, enter, and let me get out of this, and let me try starting the services. Systemctl start Hive metastore. Let me get the status. It's active. No new logs are getting created. Let me restart it. Yeah, it was giving some warning. it says SQL error, create SQL error. Okay, so what I can do is vi etc hive conf hive site.xml. Here I have not deleted this one, so let me just delete this. It was not in our property, and let me just, yes, now cat restart.sh. let me just start these services. And let's try now. I think it should work now. Show databases. Yes, it worked. Okay, so it's successfully done. Show databases, it is showing default database. If you want to create, you can create a database, and I'll name it as sample only, sample. So our database is created. Now show databases, default and sample, two databases that we are able to see, right? So Hive is also successfully installed and configured. On the browser, if you want to see, then on browser also we'll do browse the file system. Under user, a folder Hive has been created. So Hive acts as a user for Hdfs, Hive acts as a user for MySQL. Okay, so Hive, here we have a folder warehouse. Under warehouse, I have created a database called as sample. You're able to see sample, right? Sample DB is created. Okay, so default database is basically under warehouse only. All your tables will get created. But if you want to create a different database, you can create and you can start using that database, and under that you can create tables. Okay, that we will see. But installation of Hive is successful now. Okay, so pig and Hive installation I have told you, and that is successfully done. Okay,